Leaving the city's hustle behind, a mother and son arrived at a new address. The son, Jack, had traded the glittering life of New York for this quiet, unfamiliar setting due to his mother's job transfer. But Jack was unhappy. The bustle of New York was in his blood, and the silence of this new town was engulfing him in an old loneliness. While unloading their belongings at the new house, Jack's eyes fell upon the house next door. A cheerful girl his age stood there. As she smiled and beckoned him closer, the cloud of despair lifted from Jack's mind. Her name was Hannah. Through shared stories and chats, they exchanged their likes, dislikes, and small life events. It felt as though this new town was about to give him the gift of a new friendship. But their conversation was abruptly cut short by the harsh voice of Hannah's father. He approached and sternly warned Jack, "Never come near my house or my daughter again." This unexpected rudeness hurt Jack. He returned to his room, and his gaze fell upon a photo of his late father. His eyes welled up with tears, and his heart grew heavier. The next day, on their way to Jack's new school, the father's warning still echoed in his ears. At school, he met a classmate who invited him to the Friday school party. On his way home from school, Jack met Hannah again. With an apologetic face, she asked for forgiveness for her father's bad behavior. Jack calmed her. Hannah then excitedly said, "You're new. I want to show you a very special place." The two went to an old, abandoned amusement park in the city. Amidst the broken rides of the secluded park, Hannah's company brought Jack a strange peace. After talking for a long time, Jack mustered the courage to ask Hannah out for the next weekend. Hannah smiled and said, "I'll let you know." But just then, Hannah's father appeared again, his voice even harder than before. "I am warning you for the last time. If you come near my daughter again, you will regret it." The atmosphere became tense. Jack walked away with his head bowed, without a word. A short distance away, the sound of crying and shouting drifted from Hannah's house. "I need to go out. I need new friends." Hannah's scream and her father's voice. "No, you will not step outside the house from now on." Jack suspected the man might be hitting Hannah. Terrified, he called the police. When the police questioned Hannah's father, he calmly stated, "Hannah has moved to another city with her mother." The police confirmed the same thing, but Jack exclaimed, "I just saw her today. We were together." The police went inside and searched, but there was no sign of Hannah. Jack suspected she might be hidden somewhere inside. Looking for a way to help Hannah, Jack told his school friend everything. The two decided to break into Hannah's house in her father's absence. Seizing an opportunity, they carefully went inside. After searching the entire house, they found no trace of Hannah. Seeing the situation spiral out of control, Jack, his friend, and Hannah ran towards the city's ice skating rink. In the cold environment of the rink, Hannah said, "We have to put Snowman back in the book or he will destroy everything." But Snowman snatched the book and threw it away. Just then, Hannah's father arrived. In my loneliness, I wrote terrifying stories, and those story characters are now coming to life. As Hannah's father was gathering all the books to prepare for an escape, he saw one book open and another character sitting on the sofa, a wooden puppet, Slappy the dummy. He tried to trick him back into the book, but the dummy understood everything. In a rage, he burned all the books. The letters of the books turned into smoke and disappeared into the air. Instantly, the dummy created his army, small toys and monstrous creatures whom he had freed. The toys attacked Jack and his friend, but they bravely destroyed them with fire. By then, the dummy had freed all the demons and strange creatures from the burned books, who were now terrifying the city. Jack told Hannah's father, "You have to write this story again. That's the only way all the characters will go back into the book." But the typewriter was hidden at the school. They quickly got into the car. On the way, a giant insect that had emerged from a book blocked their path. They managed to avoid it and entered the supermarket, but a werewolf was there. Fortunately, Jack's aunt came to save them, hitting the werewolf with her car and sending it flying. On the way to school, passing by the cemetery, Jack saw a strange glow emanating from Hannah's body in the moonlight. Just then, corpses emerged from the graves. They somehow made it past the cemetery and reached the school. While searching for the typewriter, Hannah's father looked at Jack and revealed a profound truth. "Jack, Hannah is also my creation. In my loneliness, I drew the character of a human-like girl, and that character is Hannah. She doesn't even know she is a fictional character. If everyone finds out, people might believe she is real, which is why I never let her go outside." Hannah found the typewriter. Hannah's father quickly tried to start typing, but the dummy injured his fingers. Jack and Hannah hid Hannah's father with the rest of the children. Hannah's father realized the dummy was keeping an eye on him. He said, "I'll go outside. The monsters will follow me. This will clear the school, and we can plan to subdue everyone together." When the dummy left, they set a trap. They put a dummy doll in a school bus and rigged it with a bomb. The dummy sent all his monster army toward that bus. As the monsters entered the bus, they were all destroyed in a massive explosion. Then Jack, his friend Hannah, and her father boarded another bus and reached the abandoned amusement park. That was the stage for the final battle. Hannah's father quickly started writing the story on the typewriter, and Jack began to assist him. But the dummy came and opened the last book, and a terrifying demon emerged from it. Hannah's father told Jack, "Now you finish the story. You have that power." With that, he himself advanced toward the demon, and the demon embraced him. Jack and Hannah quickly finished typing. Seeing them, the dummy ordered the remaining demons to go after them. They were attacked on the swing set, but Jack quickly finished typing and closed the book. The magic worked. Now, all that remained was to open the book to return all the monsters. But Jack saw that Hannah too was heading toward the book with the monsters. Jack tried to stop her, finally asking, "Do you know that you ... double quotes?" Hannah smiled and said, "Yes, I know everything. I just didn't want to hurt you." She snatched the book from Jack's hand, opened it, and placed it on the ground. Immediately, light descended from the sky. All the monsters, and even the dummy, began to gather on the pages of the book. The dummy gave one last threat: "I will return." Hannah was also drawn towards the light. Jack tried to stop her but could not. An imaginary girlfriend returned to her world of stories. Time passed. Jack's life became normal, but the memory of Hannah remained fresh in his heart. One day, on his way to school, he saw that Hannah's father was now a professor there. They spoke about Hannah again. Suddenly, Jack's eyes fell upon a girl approaching from a distance. It was Hannah. Hannah's father said with a smile, "Jack, I wrote a new story, and through that story, Hannah has returned to our world." Jack and Hannah ran toward each other with joy. But the story did not end there. While working on the typewriter, the keys suddenly began to move on their own. It was as if an invisible hand was writing, "The revenge of the invisible boys." An invisible demon had returned to settle old scores. Extreme terror descended upon Hannah's father's face. A new danger, a new mystery had arrived, and there the tale ended.